Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of WrestleSlam. I'm joined by the team of Philip Connolly and Matt Murphy. Jonathan is on a cruise. He's after borrowing Matt's cruise ship. I know Jonathan's on that cruise. But life is good at the moment. It's been a crazy few weeks as always when it comes to wrestling. And yet again, we love it. There's news everywhere. Just before we start the show, we want to pay a tribute to the Road Warrior Animal who sadly passed away. A bit of a shock, 60 years of age, yet again, an iconic, wrestler. I think we all wanted to be like LOD when we were younger. Obviously, Hawk is no doubt waiting at the gates for him. Obviously, long-time friends. Yet again, Hawk passed away many years ago, but, it was sad to see that Road Warrior Animal passed away. Just quickly, Phil, obviously, LOD were a huge tag team. It's a sad loss for the wrestling fans around the world.
Yeah, and such a young age of 60.
Yeah.
The thing is, I personally think that they're the greatest character tag team of all time.
Yeah, I think so.
When you think of tag team wrestling, they're definitely on the top.
Yeah.
When I actually think about LOD, I actually think of their feud with New Age Outlaws.
That was class. Yeah.
It would have been the kind of first time I would really remember them being, because I would be 10. 12.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a definite shockwaves through the wrestling community the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't see it coming because he's so young.
Yeah, and he's fairly active. He's always doing podcasts and stuff. I know he's fairly active on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, you only met him there recently as well.
Yeah, I met him in New Orleans, and I believe, Phil, when we passed, I think when we were at
WrestleCon.
Yeah, we've seen him. He was there. I can remember him there, So I was lucky enough to meet him and get a picture with him. And yet again, he was so iconic, through the early 90s, obviously in Japan as well. But even the wrestlers that came out, Hulk Hogan, you could see Hulk Hogan was quite upset, Matt, with the loss of Animal, because he's they go all the way back to the late 80s and the 90s. What was your thoughts on LOD, Matt?
Yeah, I think I agree with that, Phil. I think, to me, they're one of the best tag teams because they kind of, to me, changed the tag team divisions all the way up to now. Because I remember my favorite moment was not a match, but when I was younger, they were playing, old highlights from WWF times.
Yeah.
And I got introduced by the Road Warriors by their SummerSlam entrance when they came out with motorbikes.
Yeah, 92.
Yeah, 92. That was the first time I saw the Road Warriors, and I was like, who are these lads? And this at the time I was watching with Edge and the Dudley Boys, the Hardys, a tag team. But when I saw these lads, I was like, I do not want to mess with them. I do not want to face them in the middle of the ring. Look how they act. And looking back on up to now, they definitely did change the tag team division because they brought character to the division.
Yeah, even their entrance music was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You knew it was them the minute the music came on.
What a rush!
Yeah. One of the best opening theme song that when you hear that, Shite's gonna hit the fan. The Warriors.
Yeah.
And plus, they made Mad Max armor look cool to wear in real life. So this is that out.
They look legit badasses.
They did, and I'd say they were badasses. You always hear the stories. Bret Hart's on about when they all used to party and stuff. The Road Warriors are always at them parties.
Yeah.
More indeed. No, it's just great to touch base on such an iconic superstar, and obviously pay tribute to his family and friends at this tough time. Lads, so we're hours away from Clash of the Champions. We can give our predictions because the show is going to go tomorrow, and we can see if we're right. But obviously, we've got so many big matches. Bobby Lashley's fighting Apollo Crews, the Street Profits against Andrea and Angle Garza. We have Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn triple threat. That's going to be an incredible match. I'm looking forward to it.
I think it'll be really, really good, but I don't think it'll be the best match on the show. I actually think Roman Reigns and Jey Uso is going to be show stealer.
I'm actually more looking forward for the ladder match, oddly enough, because I've always been a huge Sami Zayn fan, especially him on the Rubber Bandits podcast.
Oh
recently.
yeah, that was quality.
Yeah.
How did that come about? Because like I seen that pop up, and I was like, Jesus Christ! Because obviously there's so much about Sami Zayn. But did you listen to the podcast, lads?
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah, really good. I think Blind Boy actually reached out to Sammy because he was interested in the wrestling world, and they talked about everything, not just wrestling, about politics, about how things going on, about how the Arabian and Canadian race. So it was like, but even if you weren't a wrestling fan, it was good to listen. And Sammy knows.
Yeah.
But after listening to that, I actually got more respect in Sami Zayn because how well he knows and how he's protecting, the wrestling name and showing that lads in underwear wrestling each other, basically. Yeah. But I'd like to see Sami Zayn not just either win or putting on a good show, because I feel like ever since NXT, I want to see him get that moment to show that he is the real deal. Like, I am pulling for Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, but Sami Zayn, I'm like, I want to see something out of him. Like, not
it's
even
it's actually really unpredictable. I don't know who's going to win that one.
I have a feeling that Sami Zayn's going to win. That's my prediction ahead of tonight's pay-per-view. But I feel with Sami coming back and stuff.
I reckon Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, well, Jeff is champion, as we know. But it's an interesting one. Obviously, we've got Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Lads, is it fair to say maybe tonight's the night that Drew can lose that belt?
Yep, 100%.
I'm going to say yeah. Because I love Drew McIntyre. He's a great champion. But I think it's time for him to, like... I'm not being bad, but I wouldn't mind seeing him drop the belt to Orton. And maybe lead up for another rivalry with him, probably. So,
yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me if Keith Lee turns heel on him.
On Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside the back of the ambulance when he's opening it, there's going to be someone in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they're... Do you think they're doing well with Keith Lee? Do you think at this point?
Keith Lee is a mixed bag. They have to stop these DQ finishes.
Yeah. There's something there.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. And also his gear isn't the best.
Yeah, they've dropped the ball a small bit with Keith Lee giving the hype, the hype from NXT and what he'd done, being the double champ. But yeah, I think they've definitely dropped the ball a small bit. But there's definitely a twist in that match tonight because, as we know, Keith Lee's not on the card.
He's not on the card, but he'll interfere in that match, I reckon.
He has to play a role in this match, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I lost faith the moment when Keith Lee made his debut. If you remember, he said, "I'm Keith Lee and I am limitless." I kind of cringe at that. Oh, that's scripted. That is so bad. So I was like,
yeah.
And what about Roman Reigns and Jey Uso? We see what happened on SmackDown. It was quite intense. Obviously, the family's out the window, but I think they booked a good match here. I think it's got the interest of a lot of.
I think, yeah,
it's good.
There was a particular clip on SmackDown that aired about the Uso family that was unbelievably good.
Yeah,
it was one of the best packages they've done in a long, long time.
Yeah.
I think after
where I had like Afa and Sika and Rikishi talking about them. It was just like, this is really, really good. I want more of this.
Yeah. I think that episode of SmackDown actually drew me more into the match because when I saw Jey versus Roman Reigns, I was like, oh, okay, this is random. But after watching those promo videos of Rikishi talking and the family talking, I was like, yeah, I'm invested. Because we've seen so many family rivalries of, the reason this wrestler turned this wrestler is because jealousy or like, I never loved him in the first place. I know it's random, but this one is like kind of more real that Jey Uso wants to prove more.
Yeah.
I am kind of pulling for Reigns, but maybe this will be good for Jey to show that he's more than a tag team competitor at this rate.
Yeah, and then you had like his thing where he was like, people always ask him which one are you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't say much. I used to be like that with them as well. I was like, which one's which again, and all that. So I'm like, this is a swing at me.
But one thing about the match as well is it has the intrigue of Alexa Bliss is in the background of this match.
Well, yeah, she's obviously making that little turn, lads, that transition. Like, she's obviously on the dark side by the looks of it, and it's perhaps a good move at this time in her career.
It's a good move, but I don't want to see Roman Reigns in the Fiend at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. How many times have you seen...
Well, I don't because that's the WrestleMania match.
Yeah. But that's the question. Will they go down that road? Obviously, it looks like that's what they want to do. But it could easily
They will because there's a draft coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, the draft.
I think the Fiend has gone to the other brand.
Yeah, it seems that way. And like we have to quickly switch, lads, to like Retribution. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on, but obviously the characters were revealed. It's interesting that they've signed with the WWE, and obviously they destroyed the Hurt Business. Phil, what's your take on the Retribution, and do you think they can actually be dominant, or is it just a case it'll be fizzled out after time?
I think by Survivor Series they're done.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, but like T-Bar is actually Dominic Dijakovic from NXT. With shaved head and face paint and stuff. He actually looks like the guy from Ascension.
He does.
It's not him though. It's not him.
Not him,
yeah.
But overall, their names are horrible, and I don't like how they're booked. It's not good. And plus, the way they revealed it, horrible.
Yeah, but how they dropped the ball? They had so much potential with this, okay? And it seems the feedback when it all kicked off, and we seen the guy, he looked like a man from Batman, Kane, is it?
Bane.
They really dropped the ball. They could have done something really special, but it seems now that since they've done this, it's backfired.
Yeah, it's even worse than Nexus, and I don't know how you can even get worse than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it was like, oh, brilliant storyline, like a group of lads from NXT taking over WWE. Never happened Nexus before. So, but like with Revolution, what I was hoping they were gonna do was, I know I'm jumping the gun, but you remember Aces and Eights in how they actually one by one they'll accidentally get their mask like ripped off.
That's still going to happen because there's still a lot more members.
Yeah. I would like to see that, but when we saw like the main members, which is the lads from NXT, it kind of like ruined the illusion, especially with the mask that they're wearing. I was just like, I don't know what to make of this now, but I feel like this is something that WWE just gonna, or Vince is just gonna like completely forget by Survivor Series probably. Now they're just going to be like comic relief.
Oh yeah, there'll be a big blow-off match at Survivor Series. With maybe the Hurt Business. The Hurt Business versus Retribution.
Yeah, it's that way. And quickly switching lads to Seth Rollins. He's obviously at Rey Mysterio saying, Dominic's not your child. Jesus Christ, get back to the Eddie days. And obviously, now he's trying to say that Rey's daughter is not his child. Is the storyline dragging out a small bit, lads, or is it actually building up to something better with Buddy obviously kind of, leap inside of Rey Mysterio?
The thing is, Seth Rollins is actually taking time off soon because Becky's going to have her kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing with him.
Yeah.
But I think there's a possibility he'll get taken out.
Who's going to take? Is Chavo Guerrero
Murphy.
Is Chavo Guerrero going to come back in front smash him? That's the question.
Oh no!
Chavo.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm having like an open mindset with this storyline because I am not buying this. I think the fact that Dominic Mysterio, he would come out with his entire family at all times, like being helicoptered and all that. Yeah. And the fact, Dominic Mysterio, I think we saw a meme that I saw a while back I can think of, is like, instead of going to the Independence, then the Performance Center, the NXT, you just jump straight to WWE. And I was just like, I can't take this seriously. I feel like maybe like Resolution, WWE is going to drop the ball with him, unfortunately. Just have Rick come back.
Yeah. And then we have Bayley and Nikki Cross.
Interesting match. Nikki Cross has obviously been knocking on the door for a while. Obviously, Bayley's got a little storyline perhaps coming up with Sasha Banks.
I'm hoping WrestleMania.
Yeah. I think I said this in the last few podcasts. That's like a prediction I would love to have is like Bayley versus Sasha Banks up to WrestleMania for a conclusion.
Like Bayley can fight Lacey Evans next. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Geez, they really dropped the ball with Lacey Evans though.
Oh yeah, like she was dropping again on SmackDown.
Yeah. Since when did she turn heel actually? Because I completely lost track of that.
Which one?
Lacey Evans, because I remember.
Oh, she's face. Yeah, she's face. Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
That's the way she was like calling out Alexa Bliss and everything like that. But,
no. Alexa's the heel here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, there's so much happening with WWE now.
Oh yeah, it's confusing. Yeah. But I will say that SmackDown's on a bit of a roll the last few weeks.
It is.
My worry about it is when the draft comes, that they're going to change the whole structure of it and it's going to go backwards.
They should scrap the draft. Speaking of Alexa Bliss, lads, there's a new podcast on, official WWE podcast.
Oh yeah.
With Alexa Bliss. Looks like a good listen.
Yeah, I'm actually going to watch it there now when I'm done here.
Yeah,
for the first time.
And actually, I saw a trailer of it. Is this of Alexa Bliss talking about like awkward moments happening with like?
Different cool. Yeah.
She's. I think she says she's a bit of a geek growing up.
Yeah. Did you ever see that music video? I know Matt loves it.
Yeah.
The Bowling for Soup one.
I love it. And lads, obviously SmackDown was high as always. Obviously, Matt Riddle, King Corbin are back and forth. Seems King Corbin is back on the troll again. Seems like Matt Riddle's kind of being pushed down the ranks, which is a bit bizarre after he's.
Well, the thing with Matt Riddle is that he's a case against him.
Yeah.
So it's very, very hard to push, just in case something does come out.
Yeah. Bit unfortunate, isn't it?
It's very unfortunate. But the thing is, my brother was showing me earlier that BBC now have an article about this coming out stuff about wrestlers.
Yeah,
it was on the BBC Twitter page.
Yeah, they're going to cover it because they do a lot of stuff in the background.
Actually, just speaking of going into BBC, we should do NXT UK this week.
Yeah, lads, NXT it's obviously back on the scene. They announced the Irish date for next year, which is fantastic. We're all hoping to be there. Hopefully the crowd will let back in. But NXT UK has really blown up since it's returned. We have to give credit to our very own Aoife Valkyrie. She's been phenomenal since she's debuted. But we'd be lucky enough to meet her in the past. We've always predicted her to do huge things, but she's probably on the brink, lads, of an NXT UK title shot. I'm hoping that by 8 June next year that'll be her shot at that show in Dublin.
I myself really proud of her. We met her, like Jerry said, we met her in the past. She was really cool, down to earth, and great to chat with. So it'll be something to see her, becoming NXT UK Women's Champion, and we can get
in Dublin.
In Dublin. It's only a matter of time, lads. She's on an absolute rampage at the moment. She's even her matches are incredible. Like some of the maneuvers, because we've obviously seen it at OTT, but she's just she's quite young too. Like she's, you know what I mean. She has a lot ahead of her.
Yeah.
Interesting times.
So, can I just ask your thoughts on this the Heritage Cup, because it's a very interesting little thing they're doing.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Obviously, everyone's representing the nationality, but I think it's going to work.
There's a rumor that David Hart Smith's going to be one of the mystery men.
Well, I think he should be. I know Scotland is Scotland's represented by Noam. What's his name?
Noam there. Yeah, Noam there.
So obviously Davey Boy Smith coming back would be incredible, because obviously he was on the main card years and years ago, but he's been doing a lot of stuff in Japan and he's made a name for himself. So if we can get him back into
what do you think, Matt?
WWE,
I would love to see Davey Boy Smith come back to NXT UK, because with the cup going on, I feel like that's like a good move to really get people introduced to NXT UK. Because to me, NXT is like the best thing in WWE, having
it is
ads from Europe to come into WWE. If we have Davey Boy Smith coming on board, especially with WWE, I feel like is now letting their wrestlers have more freedom. Like Alexa Bliss podcast, Sami Zayn on the Lineberg podcast. If they actually manage to get Davey Boy Smith coming on board, not just as a superstar, but as like a free agent, that he can just come in whenever he wants, that'll be great. So and
just speaking of NXT UK, I just want to mention the Piper Niven and Kaylee Lee Ray match.
What a match!
Yeah, like the storytelling of the match was like one of the best I've seen in a while from the women.
Yeah.
It was legit. Like the selling in the match was probably some of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Because usually they're full of high spots and kind of meaningless stuff, but the way that she kind of was when she went up to the top rope, her leg was falling, and it was just little things that were really nice.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same. It was like I saw it, and it was like the little details, kind of like that's what makes a great wrestling match for me as well. So they have like a good match. So
Piper Nevin is like seriously talented.
Oh, unbelievably talented, and it's funny that you said that, Phil, because you remember when we were in the UK for the opening of the Performance Centre.
Yeah.
She was actually Kelly. Like obviously, Piper Nevin was there, but Kelly, like she was actually in the hotel with us.
Yeah.
If you remember that, so
I know. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
She was actually on. Like she sat right across from us, and she was actually on the brink of signing for WWE because it wasn't long before that she was actually at an OTT show.
Yeah. I remember it. Actually, just speaking of talent signing, did you see Shea Samuels might be signing with NXT?
Yeah, great move.
Yeah.
And Shea's a good guy. He's actually, we've been lucky enough yet again, Phil, to meet him.
Yeah. We have a crazy picture with him.
Yeah, doing promos.
Lads, I couldn't get out of this. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You've been with us for a lot of them, Matt. You've been there for some big ones as well, though. You've met Michaels and a few others, and Jim Ross.
Oh, well, I did. So thanks for bringing me back in. So I was like...
But yeah, I think NXT UK is huge at the moment. I'm really loving it. And any update, Phil, on who's going to represent Ireland? Obviously, are they going to have an Irish representative?
No, I don't think so. Not this time.
Unless George Devlin comes back?
Yeah, George
Devlin. I'd say he'll be kept off TV until his case is settled.
He's on the website, though. There's a little glimpse of him.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand that. But, like, right now it's a bit iffy with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was.
I love George Devlin to be the guy who challenges in Dublin next year.
Yeah.
Actually, just one thing while we're on the kind of UK side of things.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I just want to put a shout out to Inside the Ropes because they bring out their magazine.
Yeah. Big shout out to me and all the crew. We've been lucky enough to meet Kenny over the years, where it's in America or in the UK. Well, he's obviously he's doing big things. Kenny's always a guy that he doesn't sleep. And this magazine is going to be huge. It's It's obviously.
I love the fact that it looks really 80s and has Ric Flair. It's cool looking.
It's retro.
Reminds me of Power Slam magazine.
Exactly. I think he's got a good crew behind it as well. I've seen like the little intro into the magazine and stuff. He's got a serious team working with him.
Yeah.
So
I look forward to reading it in a few days, hopefully.
Definitely. I'm going to give it to Kenny.
Yeah, I know. I'm kidding myself. This fella lives, breathes like everything that is wrestling. A lot like us, like old news. So fair play to himself and Inside the Ropes to go all out with the magazine, and of course all the great interviews they've been having in the past to now. Even with everything going on, they managed to get everything settled.
But we've been blessed. As you said, lads, over the years they've brought so many shows to Cork, Ireland, Dublin. We've seen Bret Hart, Bill Goldberg, Wade Barrett. There's been Cody Rhodes. There's been some great shows, but it's definitely this magazine is definitely destined for a huge success, and I think the fans will get behind it. The fans will get behind it.
No.
Phil?
Oh no! Live TV, WrestleSlam. So Phil is just taking a little pause. He's secretly going for a cup of tea. But Matt, what was your let's go back to Inside the Ropes. What's your key memories on? I think Phil's back, is he?
Yeah, I'm connected. Yeah,
that's all good. So yet again, we're going to wish Kenny the best of luck and Inside the Ropes.
Oh yeah.
Buy the magazine on the Inside Ropes website as well. So lads, we have to touch base on All Elite Wrestling. Obviously, the ratings are huge.
Yeah.
As well. Phil, what's your take on All Elite these last?
I like this thing with Kenny Omega and Hangman Page. Obviously, it's going to lead to a big match at like the next pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But also you have the fact that I really like Eddie Kingston.
He's awesome. I think he's one of the best signings they've made. You know?
Yeah.
Gone again.
I haven't followed his career, but I
Okay.
definitely did these promos, especially with when he was calling out John Moxley. He knows what he's doing. Like he knows the ring, he knows the microphone. I can kind of see him being future AEW champion. Fight me if I'm. But.
Also, Cody Rhodes returned this week.
Yeah, that was huge. It's good to see Cody back. I'd say he just needed a bit of a vacation.
With he was actually filming something with the guy from Arrow.
Yeah, Steve. No, he was producing a show.
Yeah,
actually. No.
Yeah. But I'm so glad he's back to the normal haircut.
Yeah. Did you like the blonde, Phil? No.
No. Well, it was good, but like it was just this Cody Rhodes is just you think normal hair. I don't know.
I didn't like Cody Rhodes' blonde hair, but then it kind of grew on me like within 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, this is good. But I was happy he's back to black hair. But lads, I'm gonna say this now, but I'm sensing a heel turn coming up for Cody Rhodes.
Oh yeah, like once this feud is done with your man, Once this feud's done with Brody Lee.
Bad Kobe's coming. Bad Kobe's coming. Lads, we have to speak quickly about FTR, Dax, and Cash. Like these guys, perhaps they've won. They remind me of the Dudley Boys. They've won belts everywhere.
Yeah,
they've really changed.
These guys, I think they're the only team that now have all the belts from like all the companies.
Yeah, NXT. You know, obviously they have the Raw.
They're sound guys. Like we had the chance to meet them last year.
The first 20 seconds of that interview are the best, Phil. Where we love this guy already. He's the best. That was a nice compliment I got from the boys. And then, obviously, that night in Hall of Fame, I think who punched him? It was
Cash.
Yeah, Cash punched that guy. Oh. Yeah, he hit him a sneaky little punch. Yeah. It was beautiful.
But they love Bret Hart. Those guys love Bret Hart.
Yeah, you don't mess with a legend like that.
I just want to talk about Young Bucks as well because they're on the verge of turning heel.
It seems that Cody and Young Bucks are going to turn heel. Yeah, I've feeling that for a while now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I feel like I may be wrong on this one, but I feel like maybe Elite in general is going to turn heel. Like Cody Rhodes, maybe Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, and Adam Hangman Page.
Yeah.
No, I think Hangman Page is going to be on his own. He's going to feud with Omega.
Yeah, I would like to see that as well because they were hinting at it even when they were a tag team, if you remember. I think they're just slowly building up and now they're going back onto the storyline again.
Just before we go with AEW, there was a big COVID outbreak.
Yeah, I heard that. Bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
Lance Archer has COVID-19.
Oh no.
Yeah. And he's like the number one contender for Moxley.
Yeah, the match is actually in 2 weeks' time with John Moxley, so he should be back.
Yeah, within the 14.
I honestly don't think Archer's beaten Mox, by the way, just so we know.
Well, we go back to that question. If Moxley's going to drop the belt, who does he drop it to? Is it going to be Cody?
I honestly think Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Well, Kenny's been quiet since the launch of All Elite, you know?
Yeah, I think Kenny's going to go real heel, and then he's going to beat Mox eventually.
I said this before, and I think Jonathan actually said this before, but remember Chris Jericho and now John Moxley, they were the two wrestlers in AEW with the championship, but they were both WWE fellas.
Yeah.
I think WWE's having former WWE superstars champion. I think it's about time to give it to someone who's never been on WWE. It's about time we know who AEW is. We're familiar with the wrestlers. Give it to someone else who had nothing to do with the company. Kenny Omega, like Phil said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
We have to quickly touch base on our Twitter page. Obviously, Twitter it's going well for us at the moment. We're all kind of getting used to it. But WrestleSlam on Twitter, guys, check it out. There's been a lot of interaction at the moment. A big thanks to Phil, Matt, and Jonathan for all the tweets and stuff as well. But we did a little poll recently where we asked the question, who was perhaps the greatest WCW champion out of 4 names that we opted for. There was a lot of votes. And
David Arquette.
Yeah, he was there. The 4 names that we drove lads was Goldberg, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and Sting. Maybe David Arquette should have gone up. But top of that poll was Bill Goldberg. So we had Goldberg, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, and Sting. Phil, is that a fair call that Goldberg was perhaps the greatest champion out of all these guys?
No, I think Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think of WCW World Champion, you just think Ric Flair.
Yeah.
I would say Goldberg, because like I feel like Goldberg was the last face of WCW before that he was there within, from good to bad. So I that Goldberg, and plus we met him and he's a pretty chilled guy. So he went face to face with Phill. We even have photo proof of it. So
yeah, Jesus, that was incredible.
Yeah.
Right, lads, a big thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Don't forget you can email us at WrestleSlam@outlook.com. We're on Twitter, WrestleSlam, and we're interacting with that now at the moment. We're getting a lot of the stars writing back to us and commenting and stuff, which is fantastic. Yet again, all the episodes of WrestleSlam and all the kind of tribute WrestleSlam shows are on YouTube as well, so check them out. The website should be here in the next couple of weeks. It's something that we've looked into, and we think now is the time to get a WrestleSlam website. We'll be announcing a new sponsor in 2 weeks' time, and yet again, we have 2 special guests on WrestleSlam this coming October. We're not going to announce just yet, but let's just say an English wrestling legend and an all-time wrestling legend will be on the show. So stay tuned, lads. Yet again, a big thanks to everyone that tuned in. Jonathan should be back shortly. He's just on a cruise. He's after borrowing
the cruise of O'Dwyer.
Yes, he took Matt's ship. Matt kindly gifted him the ship for a few days.
He doesn't ask for McGregor for cheese. I love that.
I love it. And lads, enjoy Clash of the Champions tonight. Obviously, we give our predictions. We think obviously Bobby Lashley may, Well, yeah.
Before we go, there's just one thing we didn't mention.
Yeah.
Asuka's fighting Selena Vega on the pre-show.
Oh yeah.
Can Selena pull it off, Phil? That's the question. Can Selena pull it off?
I don't think so. It's just why I don't understand why the women's belt is on the pre. Like, I don't see how it's falling that much down the pecking order. This was main event of WrestleMania belt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's strange. It is strange. Yet again, we have to mention Bobby Lashley's obviously fighting Apollo Crews as well.
Yeah.
Is Apollo about to sign for the Hurt
Smackdown? Maybe he might.
Interesting.
I'm just gonna quickly say, I was like, Asuka, I feel like she's gonna definitely win. I feel like they're gonna push Selena back to like management, or just like push her aside, not being bad, but Asuka to win. And I'm easy going with Bobby Lashley and Apollo Crews. It's now officially my match to say I'm just gonna enjoy the match. Whoever wins wins.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's my thought.
Yeah.
Lads, make sure you enjoy it. We'll be back next week, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for supporting WrestleSlam. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you.
Hey, guys.